Hello, viewers, how are you guys? Today we are going to talk about 20 amino acids. Amino acids are organic compounds that are classified as either essential or non-essential. Essential amino acids cannot be synthesized by the human body, and so must be obtained from various kinds of food sources, whereas non-essential amino acids can be synthesized by the human body. Amino acids are classified as basic, acidic, aromatic, aliphatic, or sulfur-containing, based on the composition and properties of their groups. Aliphatic amino acids are nonpolar and hydrophobic in nature. A simple mnemonic to remember these 6 aliphatic amino acids is glaciers in Alcanunda Valley, locally isolated projects. Glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, proline. It is key to remember them in this order: glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, proline, because this makes it relatively easy to remember the structures. Let's start with glycine. This is the simplest amino acid and the only amino acid which has a non-chiral carbon. A chiral carbon is attached to 4 different groups. Glycine is attached to 2 hydrogens. Since it's a group, the group that changes among the 20 amino acids is a hydrogen. Alanine has a methyl group instead of hydrogen. From here on, the amino acids look a bit like a germinating seed with their group as the growing root. In valine, the root gets divided into 2 branches. Both methyls. In leucine, the root grows longer, and here the root analogy stops. You can also think isoleucine as a conformational isomer of leucine. Only proline contains a ring structure, but remember that it is not aromatic ring. Hence, it is not one of the 3 aromatic amino acids. Now, we can do a brief review of aliphatic amino acids: glaciers glycine, in Alcanunda alanine, valley valine, locally leucine, isolated isoleucine, projects proline. Aromatic amino acids should fulfill the 3 rules of aromaticity. They contain rings. Rings must be planar, usually sp2 hybridized with the unhybridized p orbitals overlapping to form a continuous ring of planar orbitals. The ring must follow Huckel's rule. It should be having 4n plus 2 electrons in its system of conjugated p orbital class, where n is an integer. Here is a way to remember the 3 aromatic amino acids. Well, why do people like to go there? It's because the aroma of fine pine and yellow timber is worth the trip. The aromatic compounds include phenylalanine, tyrosine, and tryptophan. Phenylalanine has a benzyl attached to it. Tyrosine is almost identical, but has a hydroxyl group. Tryptophan has 2 aromatic rings, one a 5-membered ring with nitrogen, and one a 6-membered ring. The rings look like a W, if you think about it. Unlike the aliphatic amino acids, their single-letter abbreviations are all the first letters of the amino acid names. The aromatic amino acids have weird single-letter abbreviations, and you can remember them in this way. Pine trees, phenylalanine has fine needles F. Timber tyrosine is yellow Y, and the trip is worth it W. 2 of the amino acids are alcohols. Well, alcohol is a serious threat. Memorizing these amino acids will be a serious threat. Serine and threonine have very easy abbreviations. The 1-letter abbreviations are just the first letter of each amino acid, while the 3-letter abbreviations are just the first 3 letters of each amino acid. What a serious threat! Here is the structure of serine. As you can see, the structure of threonine just has an extra methyl group attached to the carbon, making it chiral. 3 of the amino acids are bases. Here's a way to remember them. Basically, his lost kid always returned. The basic amino acids are histidine, lysine, and arginine, and the 1-letter abbreviations, where the last 2 are not the first letter of each. While histidine is abbreviated as H, lysine is abbreviated as K, and arginine is abbreviated as R. Luckily, the three-letter abbreviations are the first three letters of each amino acid. Let's look at histidine. Well, not much we can do here, but just memorize it. But here is the cool bit: once we memorize histidine, it is very easy to remember the other two basic amino acids. We can change histidine to lysine. First, remove the two double bonds and the bond between the N with the lone pair and the carbon on its top left. Next, remove the NH and change the N with a lone pair to an NH3. This is lysine. Now, let's change lysine to arginine. Switch the CH2 and NH3+. Erase the 3+ and the H2. Draw two NH2s attached to the carbon. Since carbon makes 4 bonds, one of the nitrogens will have a double bond to carbon. As a result, it will have a positive charge, and that's arginine. Now let's compare the three of them side by side. His histidine lost lysine, kid K, always arginine, returned R. There are two sulfur-containing amino acids, and they are special because each can link to other sulfur-containing amino acids through oxidation of their sulfhydryl bonds to form sulfur-sulfur bonds. The easy way to remember the sulfur-containing amino acids is to methodically check the path for sulfur. Methionine and cysteine are the two sulfur-containing amino acids, and fortunately, the abbreviations are just the first letter of each and the first three letters of each. Here is methionine. To get cysteine, you check between two rocks. The methyls get rid of them, and all you're left with is sulfur, desperately trying to hide behind the one rock left. There are two acidic amino acids. As Pankaj digested the glue, his stomach became acidic. The two acidic amino acids are aspartate and glutamate. In fact, these are two excitatory neurotransmitters of the brain. Anyway, the three-letter abbreviations are just the first three letters of each, but the one-letter abbreviations are not. Here is the structure of aspartate, just blunt memorization, unfortunately. Glutamate is easy to remember though. You just glue on another carbon. The amide amino acids are named like this because they have an amide functional group. The immediate mnemonic is nicely cooked asparagus with glutinous rice and quinoa. The two amide amino acids are asparagine and glutamine. The one-letter abbreviation for asparagine is N, and for glutamine it's Q. Since the three-letter abbreviations can't be as similar to the acidic amino acids. They are ASN for asparagine and GLN for glutamine. Be careful and don't get confused the acidic amino acids with the amide amino acids. You can remember that the amide amino acids are the ones ending with -ene because amides and amines are often confused as the two functional groups with nitrogen. Here is asparagine structure. Unfortunately, blunt memorization is needed here, but it is easy to remember glutamine because what happens to those who are glutinous? They get bigger, and that is exactly what happens to glutamine. It gets extra carbon. Now, I wonder if any of you have noticed a very nice pattern between the acidic and amide amino acids. Well, aspartate and asparagine both have 2 carbons in their R groups, and glutamate and glutamine both have 3 carbons in their R groups. The only difference between the pair of acidic and the pair of amides is the following. Just few last points about amino acid properties. Acidic and basic amino acids are charged amino acids. All aliphatic amino acids, as well as methionine, a sulfur-containing amino acid, and phenylalanine and tryptophan, which are aromatic amino acids, are nonpolar amino acids. All alcohol amino acids and amide amino acids, as well as cysteine, which is a sulfur-containing amino acid, and tyrosine, which is an aromatic amino acid, are polar amino acids. If you liked this video, please hit like and subscribe. It would help us to make more videos, and make sure to press bell icon so you don't miss any update. Please comment below,